People often don't realize how much pets get to bond with them, especially when it comes to dogs, whose loyalty is legendary. As a rule, they choose one main master and are willing to do anything to protect the person they like from trouble, demonstrating at the same time an incredible loyalty. But sometimes the price of such dedication can be very high. During the period of great restructuring, a young family decided to move closer to the capital. The couple had been married for 2 years and already had a child. Times were difficult, and the family had to live almost starving. Although the head of the family worked as a plumber and seemed to be able to earn extra money, there was not much money in the city, so people tried to do this kind of work themselves. After discussing the situation, they decided to go to Moscow, as they thought there were more opportunities to earn money, especially since the head of the family's aunt had a small apartment on the top floor in a Khrushchev building. She herself had recently moved into a more modern high-rise building. The woman refused to take money for renting the apartment, but made a condition that the young people would keep her old dog. She did not want to take the animal with her, as she was afraid that the pet would ruin the freshly renovated apartment.
Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now back to the story.
The dog was very depressed at first, but then somehow quickly became attached to the new owners, especially the man. Only he could feed the dog from his hands and take her for a walk outside, and all of his commands were performed unconditionally. The animal was less obedient to the girl. Her relative's apartment was clean enough, but for some reason the young mistress often found cockroaches in the kitchen. She tried to get them out, but nothing worked. Soon she learned from neighbors that homeless people lived in the basement of the house. People were afraid to kick them out, but the local precinct officer turned a blind eye to the uninvited guests. The residents tried to appeal to other authorities, but all to no avail. Due to the unsanitary conditions, bedbugs, cockroaches, and even rats ran through the entranceway. After hearing the neighbors' stories, the young girl was very upset, but still asked her husband to seal up all the cracks in the apartment so the insects and small rodents would not get to them that much. But all this was not the main problem of the apartment. The vagrants who lived in the basement were having debauchery every night, illegally using the electricity. The hot water heater the homeless used to heat water was homemade, without any proper insulation, and this certainly led to disaster. One night, there was a fire. The residents of the first floors reacted quickly, leaving their apartments, grabbing their most valuable possessions. The upper floors, on the other hand, were less fortunate. By the time they woke up to the noise and realized they needed to evacuate, the fire had already blocked all exits. At that time, the whole family was sleeping peacefully. They were awakened by a dog. The animal was pulling the blanket off its owners and barking loudly. The head of the family ran into the hallway and opened the door. He was immediately struck by fire as the disaster was looking for oxygen to spread. Unfortunately, the man instantly died right there. Firefighters arrived a few minutes later. The woman was semi-conscious by then. They were able to get her outside. She woke up only at the entrance and shouted that the child was left in the apartment. There was only one volunteer who wanted to go through the open fire. Once at the threshold of the apartment, the firefighter stopped. The dog, almost completely black with burnt fur, was dragging a baby across the floor. The animal was holding the baby by the collar with its teeth. The man grabbed the baby and ran downstairs. But for some reason, the dog did not follow him, but stayed in the hallway near his master's body. The animal never came out of the fire again. The dog could not survive his master's death. But before her death, the faithful pet still managed to perform one last heroic deed to save a baby from the fire. When her duty was done, she did not leave the dead man alone. The animal stayed with him and, whimpering in pain, followed the man. If you liked this heartwarming story, like the videos, write your comments, and share this video with your friends. Bye.
If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.